Okay. Check one, check. Creating sync point alpha. Good morning, JJ. I'm testing something here. I came up with an idea in the middle of the night for how I'm going to move forward with all this. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. Something very interesting is happening here. So, we love Yvette. Hello. Thank you. Yes, I see you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry if I seem a little in the clouds. I've been up since 2 o'clock in the morning. It hit me like a bolt of lightning in the middle of the night. There's something like I've been missing for a while, an opportunity here that I think is the one of many means by which people can offer value in return to me for my efforts here to create this beyond the scope of just purchasing downloads. I really think I might be onto something too. Good morning, Carrie. Thank you for purchasing my album collection. It was very sweet of you. I much appreciated. I'm broadcasting simultaneously now to 4 other locations. Google, Twitter, Facebook, something else. Anyway, that is not probably something I'm going to get into doing because I like being in my TikTok nest with my followers. However, it's something to think about doing once in a while. But that's not the most important bit of information here. Roisin, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. I'd love if you would listen to this for a minute. I was just, how far along in this conversation are you, Roisin, out of curiosity? I hate to repeat everything to everybody, but I'll just do the quick summary anyway, because this gets a little confusing. I came up with an idea last night, in the middle of the night. I've been thinking about ways to create a circle of value for the people that are listening to me and coming to these concerts every night. I'm doing this right now on a Windows shell operating inside of an Apple computer. That's what's enabling me to use TikTok Studio, which is the studio software that allows me to split this screen like this and capture the audio directly out of my DAW and all these things that make live performing for musicians a lot better, right? But I'm also running Apple and Windows at the same time. This meant in theory that I could be broadcasting to 5 other locations at the same time using a separate piece of studio software, not the TikTok Live Studio, but Ecamm, which is the Apple flagship live studio software that enables camera switching and everything else. So it got me thinking. Although TikTok Studio's quality, what you see right now, is not the best, I'm so grateful for it because without it, we wouldn't have made this connection that we've so happily created. So I'm not knocking it. But people who listen to music and build a relationship with an artist generally like to get the best that they can get. And that is the artist's responsibility to do that. And how far we go down that road is going to limit from artist to artist, but I've got this idea and it's going to take a little bit of effort. Let me explain. I can capture what you see right now on my other software in 4K. I'm also capturing this audio in 48K inside of the DAW. There's no internet involved with that. There's no compression. There's no anything because TikTok's handling the broadcast and Ecamm is handling the capture, you see? So what this means is for my audience people here in the TikTok realm, I can create nightly episodes of these videos in 4K. These are things that could be downloaded. These are things that could be shared. These are things that could be, if somebody saw something special in an episode, because I'm getting a lot of that. People are telling me, oh, I love this performance on that night. I wish I had that. I can make these things available via a Patreon subscription, or I can actually make them available for individual purchase for people who like to operate that way. But this gives people a way to reconnect value back to me in a form of the sharing of money. So I think this is something that could work. And the question is am I up to the task of doing it? Because this means that after I'm done with this broadcast, I shut down the TikTok app, then I go over to my studio software. Now I'm using iMovie in conjunction with Ecamm to edit the video of this exact performance you see right now. And then I'm giving you professional studio quality audio. This isn't something that's coming through a TikTok mic. This is something that's coming out of a professional studio. So the experience of it should be even better. But what it is it's a content generation platform that allows me to create a little bit of a coral reef around what I'm doing here on these broadcasts. Of course, I'd have to build my website out. But I started today with just running this test. I mean, all this might not work. It's working so far. There's no glitches in the audio, and there's no perceivable glitches in the video. So the fact is I'm broadcasting to TikTok, YouTube, 2 Facebook pages, and Twitch all at the same time right now. So if you were to go to my site on any one of those places, you would see this video happening right now, you know. Love and Feeling, I found a way to capture the content from our shows at night in studio quality 4K. I guess that's the way I could have boiled all that down. This hit me last night at like 2 a.m, you know, and I sat up in bed because I knew I'd been missing something here. There's a way to create a nexus of value. Some of you tell me that you really, really enjoy these shows, that you're here every night, and that obviously you mean what you say because here you are. That said, it could be a great source of content for TikTok to broadcast these things in my content. But the other part of this, you know, is something else really cool. I can offer this content in series on TikTok where you can buy them 5 at a time. You can buy the entire week if that's what you want to do. So I want to capture the audio in high quality. Hang on a second here. This mic's a little hot. Mic check 1, mic check 1, mic check, 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 check. 1. Okay. So yeah, Roisin, first thing you're going to need to do that with TikTok is a Windows operating system. So you would want to download Parallels software. It has a 1-week trial. But of course, you also have to have access to TikTok Studio, and I don't know what the threshold is on that. They might make people wait till they have 10,000 followers to do that, which, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, here's the thing. I think TikTok's trying to protect itself by making sure that, I mean, don't take my word for that, Roisin. I'm thinking that's what it is because that's what I heard, but please double check that. You will get there. You are getting there. You're doing a great job. Roisin is a content creator, and she's got great content. And to the other people who might be watching on other platforms, I'm communicating with an audience inside of TikTok right now. So if you'd like to leave me a comment and say hello on these other platforms, you can do it. I'll see it here in the chat window. Speaking to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, anybody out there. I don't see the live on YouTube. I'm going to have to check into that then. That's why this is indeed a test. A little odd. Let me check that right now. Again, that isn't the most important part of this whole thing because I can always do another show that is special for YouTube audience because sometimes yeah, I'm on. It's on the JSpec experiment. It's live. Ah, there you go. I got you. No, hey, I appreciate it. Always, always, always appreciate the help. Because I am literally, this is straight out of an idea in my head into trying to make this happen. And I just can't believe that it seems like it's working. Sync Point Bravo. Don't mind me, I'm creating audio sync points for the professional capture of the video. Love and Feeling, since you are on YouTube right now, please notice the difference between the quality in the YouTube broadcast versus the TikTok broadcast. Can you see what I'm saying? That's not even in 4K. That's there's one step, I think it's 1440p that is above the last stop on the way to 4K, and I have to get more powerful cords that can carry a signal faster for 4K video. Otherwise, everything will start to glitch. So, Carrie purchased my entire album collection. Isn't that sweet of her? Look how supportive she's being. I heard that. I heard that. Not slipping by me. So what I'm thinking about, Love and Feeling, is a subscription-based Patreon that enables you to have access to all of the videos in this entire library that'll be created in a rate of 5 videos per week. That would be up to 20 broadcasts in 1 month. And I can create segments where I'm sharing what I've learned from life coaches. Try to spread some good energy. Sorry your child is sick, Love and Feeling. I make great chicken soup. just kind of funning right now. Different type of mental state than when I'm performing and getting into the zone and things. This is a state of just flowing, kind of relaxing, enjoying the moment, trying to figure all these things out. So Patreon is cool. Yes, it enables artists to open the doorway. Oh, this is the biggest part of this. And this is like, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. I'm like, what am I forgetting to tell them? Remember, I've been up since 2. I'm like, what am I forgetting to say? Okay. So what this does is it enables my followers and music lovers to promote my videos. So through Patreon, I collect a fee for a subscription to a service that has literally what will have hundreds of videos of me. Okay? Not just about music, talking about other things that I've learned as well. Trying to create a positive energy kind of a network where we're facing the challenges in life together. And although there are some people that will find themselves diametrically opposed to me because of some of the things that I believe about what's happening in our world right now, I believe that there's enough people out there that can benefit from the sharing of good information that's designed to present positive outlook to the challenges of life, the promises that we seek for ourselves. You know, that we could be this and we could be that, or we could do this or we could do that from an artist's perspective, you know? So when people purchase that, I can turn around and open up promotional campaigns on TikTok, on Google, everything else. And this way, my followers, I don't like to call you all fans. I have such respect. I mean, I have respect for fans, of course, but it's just, you know, you're more to me than somebody that just listens to my music. Because this conversation is happening right now is because I care about all of you, you know, and it's bringing out the best. I guess it's bringing out my Virgo side. This enables the people who are actively enjoying my work to be producers. Because that's literally what a producer does. A producer finds a way for you to get this message from here to there. That is 95% of what being a producer is. I feel like I've given birth spiritually. Yeah. Love and Feeling says, I haven't quite figured out how to grow on TikTok myself. YouTube is going much better for me. Oh, well, it's good to hear that YouTube is going well for you. That's a bonus. So I think the only thing that has worked for me here on TikTok is just being myself. And okay, Yvette, thank you. You have a good day too. Thanks for stopping by for my little test. So, but yeah, I think TikTok is just a question of putting yourself out there. I get a lot of questions from a lot of different artists about TikTok, how to kind of build a following. And first of all, I've not spent a lot of time focusing on building a following. I have been so far down the lane of trying to get somewhere with the craft and the talent and the gift and everything to find myself in a new zone. And I'm finally comfortable that this journey has reached a point where I've reached that destination as far as, the whole picture of what it is I'm trying to do. So now I'm focused on sharing. That's really everything. So. Oh, well, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Just as I appreciate that you decided to own a little piece of my world with my albums. Yeah, Facebook started to become a little bit challenging for me spiritually. The thing I like about TikTok is that there's a lot of people being real. Okay, now we all know that there's a question that could be raised there. How do you know that? Not everybody is adept at telling fiction from reality. And yes, there are con artists in this world. But I'm not really referring to the con artists. People trying to find themselves sometimes get lost in the sauce. Sometimes they're not being as authentic as they can be. And really, that's not a destination, that's a journey. See, this is a very, very good point that JJ is making, Woman of Jazz. She says that your heart will tell you who is sincere. And I believe that there's a lot of truth to that statement. Getting warmed up for the day. I keep hearing your music for motion pictures. Well, everybody has been telling me that my whole life, JJ, and I appreciate it every time I hear it. Because that tells me that there's something that is getting into creativity with people. It's inspiring them to see things or imagine things, stuff like that. I've had a few little bit of plays in the film business, enough to, I've a couple of projects I've been involved with have won Emmy Awards, and there's been some stuff that's been notable, I guess, but it's not anything that is mainstream success as far as Hollywood is concerned. And I just, at least it's not as far as I'm concerned. I just am really in a place right now where I want to make a story for people. If it finds its way to film or some director wants to work with me, well, of course, I would welcome that with open arms, right? But it's not the thrust of my life's aspirations anymore. I think that the SAG strike that is going on right now in film business and the stories that we're hearing, because TikTok is just so amazing. It's a level of knowledge and insider information that has just never been present. It's like Facebook doesn't spread that kind of information, and seeing that the Screen Actors Guild people and the people in the unions in Hollywood saying, look, this is what they're doing to us, is a very telling thing. I mean, take a film composer, for instance. Okay, so when you think of a film composer, you naturally think of somebody like Hans Zimmer, John Williams. These are people who get paid millions of dollars, okay, to do scores for film. And they also get ownership of rights that enables them to amass wealth from the syndication of these projects that they're involved with. Like if you would do the music for, for like Gladiator, like Hans Zimmer or something, well, he is so deeply connected to that project that he's earning money from the project itself. Now, it might not be a lot compared to everybody else, but that's the other part of this problem, Stephen King has been, I saw Stephen King in my comments section. That's why that popped in my mind. I mean, Steven Spielberg has been quoted as saying that music is 50% of a film project. 50%. That's how important it is. And no surprise, Steven Spielberg uses John Williams predominantly, or at least he did, for his scores, because John Williams is a storyteller. Jaws, Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., all of these are things that John Williams has done, and it's only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, his music is as much a part of American film as the lens on the camera, But film composers do not get paid with the same generous kind of oomph that actors get paid with. Not even close. In many ways, one could argue, well, of course, because an actor is carrying a motion picture. Roisin, thank you for stopping by. You have a great day at work. But, I don't know, when you have worked on a film project and you discover the passion for doing it, where you really invest yourself so deeply into a project where you are watching a scene and you are quite literally listening to the sound of people breathing as you're working. You're looking for elements inside of that film that might not appear so obvious to the untrained eye. And ways to, when you're actually scoring, and this isn't a piece of music that's laid over a top of a piece of film, which is an entirely different thing. When you are creating music for a scene, you're actually listening to the energy of the dialogue that is happening and listening to the natural breaks in the expression where music could exist, or a way for that music to live under there, so that it doesn't not only just impede the delivery of the scene or the dialogue or whatever else, because it's very easy for music to obfuscate what a film is trying to express. So to be able to create music that knows how to stay in the background, but then also moves enough that when you take that music out of the scene's dead without it. If you would see the scene and it's well acted, right, and you would see the scene without music, you would appreciate it, right? You would say, "Oh, wow, that's a great scene. Look at the camera shots. Oh, look at the treatment that they gave. This is pretty good script writing." And the actor's delivery, you could talk about a bunch of nuances in there, right? But I promise you that after you see a segment of film that has had original music scored for it, and you start by hearing it with the music or the ambient soundtrack, and then you pull that away, even all that great acting and everything you thought was so wonderful is not wonderful anymore. You will forever feel as though something is horribly wrong when that music is gone. That's the amount of genuine effect it has. So, I don't know. I just don't know. The business is oversaturated. Everybody with a laptop computer and a 2-octave keyboard is entitled to be a film composer. And that's fine. This is how this works in life. I don't admonish anybody for giving it hell. Go for it. You know, you can write beautiful music on an iPad. Do it. Do it. But it doesn't make maintaining a strong career there very easy. And I'm just, if I want to get into doing that, I'm going to have to look into agency representation pretty hardcore. So I have some hooks in the water. In the meanwhile, everything that I'm doing here is perfectly capable of being real for... Hello, Astro Poet on Facebook. Thanks for joining me. I'm actually on TikTok at the same time. This whole thing today is an experiment. I found a way to broadcast and capture my TikTok lives in 4K so that I can turn around and reoffer those to everybody in the form of a transaction on my website. So you have been created for this flow. Please stay open. Oh, that's just it, JJ. I'm 100. Please don't think for a second that I'm going to look an opportunity in the mouth from the film industry if something comes along. But what I want, you just say, Jace, what do you want? I want to work with a great director. The director I've worked with in the past on multiple projects is an incredible human being. I admire him. I admire who he is. And I'd like to work with directors that really are convinced that my music is exactly what their project needs. And we come together and I make their vision come to life in a way that when I see the joy that they feel from their creativity hitting its nexus, I can thrive off of that. And the money and everything else is great, whatever. I'm selfish. I want it all. I just want to be happy. So I'm open to whatever doorway that happiness comes through. So Astro Poet, since you're here on TikTok now and you just came in here from Facebook, you might want to check YouTube as well. And if you should happen to check out my YouTube, it's Jace Beck Experiment. If you happen to check out my YouTube, I want you to notice the difference between the quality of what's going on that platform versus this platform. And what I'm trying to explain to you is that I'm going to use that quality to package these TikTok videos. I'm capturing this TikTok video that you see on your TikTok app on your phone in 4K using something else with studio quality sound. It's really giant steps up from what the TikTok Studio app is capable of doing right now. So it's pretty crazy that this is actually working. I had this idea in the middle of the night, and I'm not kidding you. I'm laying in bed, and I'm in a medium sleep, and I felt like I was sitting in the studio, and I knew I was dreaming. I knew I wasn't, my dreams are very lucid when I'm doing this. And I just realized I could be running Ecamm at the same time. I could capture this in 4K, capture the audio, mix it in a studio, and present these video highlights every day. Take quite a commitment. But this would enable me to provide a service for people to subscribe to through Patreon. So that when I'm talking about the things I've been coached with in this life as well, they can be available for that too. I got to step up my game. And when I say step up my game, I mean continue to increase the value of what I do for the people that it matters to. That's what I mean. I also came up for a name for my broadcast. Sorry if I'm not on my full passion playing mode. I'm just getting warmed up for the day, and I've just got this idea in hand. So sunsets are one of my favorite things. And I have a back deck here that faces the ocean. And when it's not this season of dreadful cloudiness, which has just been, I haven't seen the sun now for 4 weeks. It's just been rough. But that's almost over. It's almost over. And then what will begin is the beautiful days of San Francisco for 6, 7, 8 months. It'll be 70-degree days and sunshine, clear skies, maybe a little bit of morning mistiness, but it'll be clear. My idea is to call this show Golden Hour, because golden hour is the hour of the sunset. The only thing is I don't want people to think that I'm trying to say I'm gold or something like that I'm being cocky. It's not the point. It's like a moment of my day where I feel good about everything that's going on in life, and I like maybe just calling this golden hour might be a reflection of what's actually happened, because we're doing this at sunset every day. What do you think? Yes? No? Good idea? Bad idea? I could shoot a video to an intro video to the show doing that as well. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Colleen. Doesn't sound cocky at all, promise. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to start the show with a video sequence where I'm standing on my back deck because I can incorporate an opening video into these lives. And I'm going to shoot the sunset with my camera phone. Then I'm going to turn around with that same perspective and walk through the house, down the steps into my studio here, over to the gear. And then the next shot will be of me sitting here with my headphones on. I think it might be a nice way to put a wrapper on this broadcast that will make it gel a little bit. Do you think so, Astropoets? Do you really like it? So, and then there's an idea for a second show I want to do. A different show that I want to do maybe once a week. Thank you, Astropoet. Appreciate that. I'm just what makes the TikTok special is this is not a polished perfect situation. This is real world here. Me sitting here in my creation. It's like a space capsule here. I have a screen here, I have a screen there, 2 here. So a lot of gear right around me. And I want to do a back camera shot of that so people can see what that looks like as well. Yeah, as a nap in the middle of all that. You're going to throw that in my face. Oh, yeah, I got to get some sleep. Our show is until 7 p.m. this evening, and I'm going to be doing everything that I described here. The only thing that bothers me, so this is one thing about this I'm a little concerned about. I can use the other software to capture what you see on your smartphone right now in 4K with studio quality sound, so that can be obtained by you after the show or viewed, streaming from my sources. That's a lot of content. And I can do that. I don't know about broadcasting at the same time to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and everything else. It's important for me to grow my viewership, but how I do things is just as important as what I do. And I don't want people to feel like my attention is split between 5 different locations on the internet. Because when I'm talking to you right now and then I turn this way and say, oh, Jan from YouTube says this, that, and the other thing, and I'm turned away from you now, it could be argued that there is a certain disconnect that people might experience. Whereas when I'm not communicating to anyone else, it's 100% the TikTok community that will feel it. So, I mean, it's something I could do once in a while. Maybe on Friday I could start doing a full spectrum broadcast where I'm doing Twitch, YouTube, Facebook 1 and 2, a couple other things too, maybe. So, yeah, there's that. You know, if there's an artist that happens along here and is seeing this, the important thing, well, yes, JJ, that's a good idea. JJ says make it a social party on Fridays. You know, it's a good idea. Happy hour. Maybe I should call the show Happy Hour. Nah, that conjures up a scene in a saloon. Then I'm going to start getting deluged with Billy Joel requests. Which I've got nothing against Billy Joel. I just don't get the same connection I get from playing music that I've created or doing original creations of the more popular things. Carrie says, healing my heart, one key at a time. Thank you. That's heals my heart as well. Just thinking. This is interesting. There's a balance when you're an artist to the zone that exists between doing new things, new ideas, brand new concepts. And I used to be very guilty of jumping straight to the conclusion. Always the best gear, always the best approach, always the best this. Everything had to be perfect. And I never focused really on what I was actually doing as far as the content was concerned, much more than playing a piano. And I realized that was kind of it was a mistake in a lot of different ways. And so my advice to anybody who's doing stuff, content creators, is to remember something, that standing with a smartphone in your hand and being able to do something just that way, I don't care if you're playing an out of tune upright piano. There's people on here that have 50,000 viewers in a room playing on an out of tune piano. People are there coming because they like their personality. They like their music too, but what I'm saying is this is an entire experience now. Used to be what you knew about an artist was what you saw about their hair on the front of a CD cover. Used to be something you'd read about them in People magazine. And there are some artists who are still from that old school. Take Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. He uses what is called the bomb method of advertising. Here's my stuff. Get my stuff. You have to have a big name and a lot of circulation and a PR engine behind that, constantly telling people, hey, look at what he did. Hey, look at what she did. And as their reputation grows, just in the nature of them releasing something, people will go get it. The world has changed. And there's a lot of people who can play the piano. Do I think I do it in a special way? Well, I mean, of course. I've worked my whole life at this, right? And I know that people appreciate that. But I think I'm realizing now that I can use the gifts that I've been given to also share information about other things, that might be kind of like a guerrilla warfare strategy to surviving in this today's world. And I think that my Gen X experience helps me in that regard, because I've done nothing but adapt my whole life. When I was a kid, we were listening to 8-track tapes. Then we moved on to cassettes. Then we had the advent of VHS and beta. Then we moved on from there. Of course, vinyl records have always been in that mix. Then we moved on from there to CDs, and then from CDs to downloads, and now from downloads to streaming. And that's just one branch on this tree. Meanwhile, back at the studio, we started recording on analog gear. Analog gear basically means circuitry, real world tangible circuitry. And some people still believe that is all that music should be made with, and I respect that opinion. But somewhere in the 90s, we moved into Pro Tools, okay, and things like this. The digital age began. Having to not only transition through that kind of technology, but excel at it has been the monkey on the back of Generation X. Gen Z folks that are coming into music, they're seeing technology changes, but it's like switching from a leather glove to a silk glove, or a silk glove to a fur glove. It's still a glove. Okay, it's still. Whereas switching the kind of technology that I am switching is like switching from a glove to a fighter plane. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a ridiculous analogy, and it is given to some exaggeration, but it's very accurate to describe the level of, curvature of our earth that we've had to deal with as artists. And it's given me a weird kind of view in life of seeing things in certain ways. And the pandemic taught a lot of people of a lesson in this life. And one of the many lessons, besides the ones that are the most frighteningly painful of the entire thing, I don't really like to look at that as a lesson. I look at that as a situation. The lessons include people who got into the deep end of the swimming pool in life and started doing things that they never did before. They're used to working jobs 50 hours a week, 40 hours a week, 30 hours a week, or working 2 part-time jobs, 60 hours a week, some people. And people said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try this. I'm going to try doing something online. I'm going to try podcasting. I'm going to try, this, that, or the other thing. And it doesn't always have to do with arts and music. It has to do with affiliate businesses and all these other kinds of things. People said, you know what, I'm going to give this a whirl. What happened when that happened? Some businesses actually had to start paying more money to get employees because employees said, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. Now, some people like to credit the government assistance that took place during that time as fueling that. And they'll criticize it. Well, yeah, when people were sitting on their rear end to do nothing. No, no, not at all. There wasn't that much money on the table. And what it takes for certain people to change is a sudden, rapid burst of entirely new circumstances where they are literally shoved into a pool. Because if people are given a choice, they will choose the devil they know rather than the unknown entity behind the door over there that they can't see. People get comfortable with complaining about their jobs, complaining about their lives, complaining about their situations, and struggling. And I understand. It's just a question of, I'm just proud of people who have discovered that this is something I've always wanted to do. And you know what? Because of the pandemic, I tried, and I'm not going back. And hey, folks, that's hundreds of thousands of people. People discovered I do better working at home than I do sitting in an office 9 hours a day. People like Elon Musk hate that. Well, too bad. Because we care what he thinks. So I love it that this is it gives me a way to communicate with people who understand my message a little bit better now. Because even if they didn't go through it personally, maybe they kept their jobs, or maybe they were able to, just roll on the way they were. They understand. They've seen it. They've seen people who are connected to that. They've seen it in the news. They see people talking about it on TikTok. TikTok is just so outrageously forward in spreading information. There's this TikToker on here. He goes by the name of Colin, and he has 9 million followers. Funny dude. I love watching him. And it's been fascinating. He is one example of many people who have undergone the TikTok famous change that I'm starting to notice is prevalent. And he's got 9 million followers, and he does these funny videos, and he's getting scouted by studio producers. Now, the whole problem here is there's a major strike going on, and now what he's doing is putting him in a position of looking like a scab. I'm not sure that he is, but now his videos in the past few days confirm that, yeah, I'm a scab and I like it. If you don't like it, too bad. Besides that, I have the power of Lord Jesus opening my connections for me, so you're going up against my Savior. I mean, to hear someone say that, you just think to yourself, okay, you're going to learn a lesson here real soon about crossing a union line in Hollywood. I wish him luck, and I hope that karma doesn't serve him the way it's probably going to do, because he's received messages, I think at this point, from over several thousand content creators that are in the film business who are saying, I'm one of them, saying sometimes the message isn't very nice either, not like mine. And it's just that you as a spectator to something like this, me as a spectator to these things, we are learning. Human beings learn through social communication. That's one of the outcomes of our societal interaction, the sociology of how is that we learn from each other. And TikTok is managing to do that in a way that no other social media app has come close to in history. The closest was MySpace. But even with its cool features and functionalities, it can't do what TikTok does. This is a song that I wrote around the time when my mom passed. It's played on XM. It's one of my most popular songs from my live album. And it's called The Last Sunrise. Well, I have to conclude that this test has been a success. This is actually doable. This is actually, I just recorded everything I played separate from the video broadcast on a machine that is, music studio. And it captured it so that I can mix that and then reapply it to the video you see here. And then this video will be coming back in 4K. Which is, if you were to pop over to YouTube right now, you would see it's not 4K there either, but it is tremendously higher quality than what this TikTok is currently capable. But I might be able to increase the quality here a little bit too, which is exactly what I really wanted to do. But this app is a little touchy. It's interesting that TikTok creates this native app. It's a TikTok application that you now have to use when you want to do studio broadcasting on TikTok. It's basically two different things you can do on TikTok. You can hold a smartphone in your hand, which is, great, and do smartphone recordings, but you can also use your computer now, and you can use webcams, right? And TikTok created this studio software that is proprietary that you have to use. When TikTok first came out, they gave out studio keys, broadcast keys, stream keys that you could use. They're called stream keys that you could use to broadcast from this same app I'm using to broadcast to YouTube. They shut that down, you see. Now they force you to use the proprietary app. And why is that? Because they don't want you simultaneously broadcasting to 4 other platforms. Okay? They want you to have to broadcast to one, and that is TikTok. But they can't stop you from broadcasting simultaneously using another system. So, again, the simultaneous broadcast is not really what I'm after right here. What I'm after is the studio quality experience that I can deliver on. So, your pillow is 4K about right now. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to get some rest. Don't you worry. I'm going to wrap this up here and take my notes here from this successful thing and get ready to do the other parts and things I have to do today. So I'll get some rest in there somewhere. I promise. Hope to see you again, JJ. Thanks, Carrie, for stopping by. Astro Poet, you're awesome. Appreciate you. Love and Feeling, you were great. Elizabeth, thanks for stopping by. I didn't see you up there, but now I do. So, Roisin, thanks for popping in. Yvette, thank you for stopping by. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you tonight. And I may pop on again this afternoon. It depends. But I'll definitely be back tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? Have a great day.